Live from the Convocation Center here in Dahlonega on the campus of the University of North Georgia. Coverage of Nighthawk basketball is on the air, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Craig Corbin alongside Brendan Shabath, the newest member of the Nighthawk family. Welcome, Brendan.
Thank you very much, Craig. I'm very glad to be here, very excited. Love basketball Saturdays, and being here in this gym in this place is very exciting here for my first time.
What a great way to get your feet wet. Doubleheader, Peach Belt Conference, a matchup that on the women's side of the ledger is the 49th meeting between these two programs. And Augusta has been on the short end of the stick more often than not. North Georgia with a 29-19 advantage in that series. This year, Augusta comes in second place in the Peach Belt. North Georgia has been through a rough stretch, dropping 3 of the last 4. But home court is always a great place to get well in a hurry.
There's absolutely nothing better than playing on your home gym. Something about that rim that you're familiar with just tends to go a little bit better towards your way for a home game, so that's always good for the Nighthawks.
And we are underway, Augusta, with the opening possession here. First quarter underway in Dahlonega. The Jaguars starting Florence, Searles, Phillips, Alford, and Manning. That one no good. And first crack at it for the Nighthawks. Emily gets it over on the perimeter to Fahey. Now Lexi out top. Works to the left, finds a little daylight. Shot partially blocked and a whistle early on. And that will stop the clock at 9:32 here, first quarter. By the way, the Nighthawks starting Lexi Pierce, Carly Fahey, Ansley Hall, Emily Truschel, and Kendall Eminer. Nighthawks at 15-10 overall, 8-7 in Peach Belt play. And that first foul shot no good from Lexi on the season, 67%. At the line has been a challenge all season long for the Nighthawks. First point of the day.
I think the big thing after the loss for North Georgia against Georgia Southwestern on Wednesday is to focus on the offense, especially in the middle stages of the game. They led after that first quarter, but got outscored by a ton in the second and third quarters. They have to be able to keep up that offense through the middle stages of the game, that kind of lull part of the game that we can get in the middle. Have to find a way, keep putting the ball in the basket.
First bucket for the Jaguars from Kennedy Manning, 2-1 in favor of Augusta. And a takeaway, first turnover of the afternoon. And on the break, Searles gets it over to Phillips, and a whistle will give an and one opportunity. And no doubt about it, the Nighthawks this season having to deal with the injury bug right off the bat. Caroline Martin, of course, gone for the whole season. That made a big difference. Absolutely. And then the loss of Daisha Cannon.
Yeah. Two of the better players for UNG, expected to have big roles this season.
By the way, we want to wish a speedy recovery to Lee Glenn. You're used to hearing his dulcet tones on the Nighthawk Sports Network. And Lee, he's playing injured today, but right with us on press row, playing hurt.
The injury bug extends beyond the roster here at North Georgia.
5-1 Augusta with the ball. And a corner three is good, and the lead quickly grows to 7. You know, you talked about, Brendan, the lack of offense in the second half against Georgia Southwestern. A tough opponent regardless. Shot no good from Hall, but really difficult then to find your fifth gear, so to speak.
Right.
When you're having to do it against either the top or second place team in the conference.
Yeah, that Georgia Southwestern team is really good. And they had a really good home crowd. We talked about that, obviously, just a couple minutes ago at the top of this broadcast. Playing on the road against a crowd like that, against one of the better teams in the Peach Belt, and you have an off night shooting, it's tough to find a way to win that game.
Who will step up first from the floor? Is it Truschel? No, the give to Kendall. That one wouldn't fall. Boy, tantalizingly close.
Unbelievable pass by Emily Truschel there to weave her way into the lane and then find Kendall Eminer. I mean, that was a beautiful look. Eminer couldn't quite convert, but Hawks get to keep it.
North Georgia always looking to get the ball down low when they can. Kendall had that one blocked. No whistle. And here come the Jaguars, up 8-1 early on this afternoon. Another corner three and another bucket for Augusta. This from Monet Florence. And Coach Burson wants a 30 to talk about it. 11-1 right out of the gate. And the clock stopped with 7:32. We will take a break as well. This is the Nighthawk Sports Network. And, man, we will stay right with you here. Timeout on the floor, 7:32 to go here. First quarter, 11-1. Augusta right out of the gate after the lone point thus far from North Georgia. Lexi Pierce, that single foul shot. And so not only do the Nighthawks have to deal with a hot shooting Augusta team, a couple of long-range shots early from Jaguars, but they've got to find something offensively themselves.
Absolutely, and if you're Augusta, this is exactly how you want to start this game. The best three-point shooting team in the Peach Belt this year, 34%. They're 2 for 2, and they're up by 10 already. Quickly, those 6 points make a huge difference, especially when you're on the road. That's the biggest key, is starting off hot. And for the Nighthawks, they've got to find a way to respond, get some buckets of their own. Still haven't made a shot from the floor.
When any team finds that comfort zone early, it's a good thing. If you're on the road, an even better thing, because they have gotten off to this red-hot start. Teams are back on the floor, and we'll see what the Nighthawks can do this trip down the floor. Little half-court zone here. Hall able to bounce it through to Emily, and the pass, Kendall able to tip it back to Lexi. Hall for three. Could this be the first? It is.
Absolutely needed that out of the press break for the Nighthawks. Nearly turned it over, but were able to maintain their composure and knock down the triple.
Augusta with the ball. That mid-range jumper no good. Rebound to Truschel. Emily will bring it up herself, playing with a pretty heavily taped up left shoulder. Kendall in the paint, nothing doing there. Turns, and they're going to give her the 3-second violation. Unable to get around Kennedy Manning, who is a force to be reckoned with. Very wide defender. Down the lane, the shot up and good for Alford. Pierce will pull it back out. Hall, top of the key. Now Lexi will try this one well off the mark. Long rebound into the hand of Autumn Phillips. Around they go to Alford. Shot clock at 15. Game clock 6:12. First quarter. Underneath, Manning, a nice move and a nice bucket.
One thing we're seeing early is Augusta is so active, even in their half court. Without the ball, with the ball, everybody's moving, everybody's cutting. It's really hard for the defense right now to keep up with this Jaguars team that is working so hard on the offensive end.
There's a reason they are second in the Peach Belt standings. Hall tried to go underneath and did draw contact. That stops it with 5:48 to go here in the first. 15-4. That's the biggest lead of the day thus far. Hall on the season, 68% at the line. And gets that one to go. This is the type ball game, Brendan, that every single trip to the foul line is a golden opportunity.
Absolutely. And for North Georgia, struggling at the foul line this year, it's a chance to find free points and early in this game get back without letting the clock dwindle.
1 of 2 for Ansley. 5:40 and counting here, first quarter. 10-point lead for Augusta with the ball from the right wing. This one no good from Florence. Rebound to Emily, and she'll bring it up. Now Fahey heads to the left side, down the lane. And contact. And prior to it, a travel will turn it over.
I think just a little bit too much steam as she came to a halt there and shuffled those feet. Yep. To Fahey.
Substitution by Coach Burson. Livy Blackstock in the ball game. Livy has played some great minutes this year for the Nighthawks. Oh, beautiful give and go. And the bucket for Alford makes it 17-5.
Augusta 7 for 10 from the floor early on in this game.
They've hit them from inside. They've hit them from outside.
I mean, they're just clicking right now. Their passes are crisp. They seem in control. They seem confident in every single thing they do. I think the most impressive thing that we're seeing early about how active they are on offense is every movement has purpose.
Right.
Every cut, every pass, every dribble has an intention to shift the defense or try to attack, and it's working.
It is not movement for the sake of movement.
Right.
Jaguars up by 12, and number 12 misses that one. Whistle stops it. Get the ball game. Lizzie Campbell now for the Nighthawks. Alford fouled in the act of shooting, the senior from Barnesville, Georgia, by way of Morehead State. Manning gets a breather. And coming in, Jabria Fullwood. Alford gets the first. .444 to go here in the first quarter. And Alford getting both. Game number 1 of our doubleheader, and boy, looking forward to the nightcap. A jump ball call there. You look at the rivalries that exist naturally because of geography, and then those that exist because of conference affiliation, and certainly the case in both of those, from both standpoints here with Augusta and North Georgia.
And senior night at the nightcap, too.
That's right.
Men's. Honoring 4 seniors.
That is always a very special night for any team, and the emotion. Now, the challenge, of course, being the emotion that comes along with that, and how to tamp that down.
I think an advantage for North Georgia in particular celebrating senior night tonight is that they got more games coming up. This isn't the last game of the year.
Right.
Not only are there more regular season games, there's likely playoff games coming up too. So they got that to look forward to, and it's a chance to kind of celebrate a culmination of a career and still know that there's basketball left to be played and business left to be taken care of.
Absolutely. Checking in for the Nighthawks, Isabel Davenport. And she takes the pass from Hall, zips it cross court to Blackstock, quickly fires the three. This one just a little bit off the mark. Battle for the loose ball. Emily got a hand on it, and it will be Augusta ball on the alternating possession.
It doesn't result in an offensive rebound and a second chance for North Georgia, but really like the effort and the hustle from Truschel there. If you can get any offensive rebound against this Augusta team who is in the top 3 in the Peach Belt in rebounding margin, that's a big positive. Doesn't work there, but the effort.
No doubt. Jaguars up by 14. Make it 16 on the basket from Yamani Paul. Transfer from Kennesaw State. Makes it 21-5. And a big three-pointer from Livy Blackstock. Boy, how much the Nighthawks needed that.
Absolutely. That was really good ball movement, especially by Isabel Davenport. Kind of on the give and go, right back to Blackstock in the corner, shifting that tough zone that plays high pressure, especially on the perimeter. That's what the Nighthawks have to keep doing.
At the other end, a missed three from Autumn Phillips, and here come the Nighthawks. Livy gets it over to Isabel. Davenport now one dribble and away to Hall. And a whistle. By the way, your officials for this afternoon's game, the crew chief Greg Norton, Octavia Roberts and Roe Smith Sonia. Kaylee Sticker in the ball game now for the Nighthawks. Blackstock takes the inbound, tries to get it inside. Campbell left that one just short, got another chance. Now Sticker up and in.
You know what that was, Craig? Offensive rebound. Good effort there to crash the offensive glass and clean up what was a high percentage shot for another high percentage shot.
That is gold. Anytime that you get more than one crack at it.
And we love our gold here in Dahlonega.
No doubt. It is some of the most beautiful. You know, you look at the gold atop the spire here on campus. That three, no good. Long rebound. Nobody wanted it. And the Jags will keep it. That sort of happened in slow motion.
Yep. It's one of those just tough bounces. You have to remember, especially on the defensive glass, long shot equals long rebound 90% of the time.
Another missed shot there, but a foul inside. May have been a push off by Sticker getting position.
Yep, I think that's what they got there. And that's the battle. That's the box out fundamentals, is you're not in that position to foul. If you find your defender, arm in the chest, turn around, box out quickly, do that first.
Down the lane, that one no good, but a travel prior. We'll give it back to North Georgia. Love to see the Nighthawks take advantage of this 2 minutes and change to cut even closer. Trailed by as many as 16.
Well, with how hot Augusta has been, so anytime you get a stop, it's a chance to grow the momentum. So you get the offensive rebound down here in the putback. Now you get a stop. Now go back and score again and start to change the complexion of, like you said, these final 2 minutes.
And how big it is emotionally going into quarter number two on a little bit of a run. The feed inside, off the mark, intended for Campbell, out of bounds to Augusta.
But even just for your psyche, looking up and seeing 21-10 after a quarter is very different than 21-14. And it's 7-6-point game. All right, we're in this. That's 1 2-minute run. That's one stop. That's 2 threes. All of a sudden, we're right back in this game.
And another travel. Boy, we have seen more traveling calls already in this one than you typically see in an entire game.
I think we've had 4.
You are correct. Hall. And a nice diagonal pass. The feed inside, and again off the mark and out of bounds. The intent is to get it into the paint, and that's certainly the MO quite often for North Georgia, but the pass is just a little bit off the mark here the last 2 trips down the floor.
Yeah, that's Lizzie Campbell getting position down low for North Georgia. And I think both times Yamani Paul might have just pulled the chair out from under her. So she swings away from that basketball right as it's being entered. That's a veteran move and a crafty move down low on defense. And really one of the only things you can do in the post once you've lost position to try to force a bad post entry. And it's worked twice.
Yep. 21-10. Augusta on top with the ball. 1:40 left here in quarter number 1. Sticker nearly came up with the steal, but that one off the mark, no good, out of bounds, and it will stay Augusta ball.
Man, that Sticker steal would have been huge right there early in the possession, early in the shot clock to try to get it to go back the other way and force what would have been a 3rd Augusta turnover in a row.
Truschel back in place of Campbell. Clock rolls, the feed inside through the hands of Malia Grace, and here come the Nighthawks. Chance to get it back to single digits. And just like that, a turnover. Heading the other way, Searles now waits on everybody. Zips it over to Florence, tries to go inside, nothing doing there. Stopped by Blackstock, now an outside 3. North Georgia with a minute to go here in the first. Let's see if they can take advantage this trip down the floor.
UNG was impressive in the first 8 minutes of this quarter with how they were passing the ball despite the Augusta pressure. That last 60 seconds, a little bit sloppy, a little bit sped up and forced. Like to slow it down.
Difference of 20 seconds in the shot clock and the game clock. Winding down here in quarter number 1. Love to come up with a nice defensive stop here. That shot, though, will go for Florence. And the Nighthawks will have the last crack at it. Quick three, this one long. And so now the Jaguars will have 12 seconds with which to work, looking to expand what is a 13-point advantage. 4-3, that from the elbow, good. And it's 25-10 after one. Augusta in control early. We'll take a break, be back with the second quarter. This is the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back here in the Convocation Center, it is Augusta on top, 25-10. Craig Corbin, Brendan Shabath. And Brendan, while we've got a second, we welcomed you to the Nighthawk family, now the newest Director of Athletic Communications. I know you're excited to be here. We're excited to have you. Tell us a little bit about your journey getting to Dahlonega.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure most people listening right now can probably tell that guy's not from here. I'm from about 13 hours north, just outside of Detroit. Michigan is where I grew up. I went to high school down in Detroit. Big Detroit sports fan. My Lions this year, they were fun to follow. They were that close. But yeah, so went to high school in Detroit, graduated Michigan State back in 2023. Degree in journalism, minors in sports and broadcast journalism. Spent a summer working with the Detroit Tigers as an intern. Was the assistant director of athletic comms at UVA Wise, who the Nighthawks men's team played back in November up there, about 5 hours north up in Virginia. And, with that, had a connection with Dan Evans, who spent some time in Michigan as a coach. We talked over, and he kind of made me aware that this might be a possible position for me here at North Georgia. And it's just been a whirlwind of interviews and stuff to get here since then, and boy, I'm so excited to be here. I mean, the people have been great. You and I talked about it off air, the kind of family atmosphere and team environment of being here. Everybody's come up and introduced themselves and said hi and welcome to be here, and it's made that transition for me that much easier and that much more fun, and it's really been cool.
Him and her missing there, and we are so excited to have you as part of the family because it is a great place, a great university, a great department, some phenomenal teams. And you will absolutely enjoy your time here. And I know we are just anxious to get you fully integrated.
Yeah, and vice versa. I'm anxious to get going. I in research of this school, both when UVA Wise was playing them in basketball and then just kind of looking around, can see how proud this place is and how successful in all athletics it has been. And that's a draw for someone in this position who I'm going to get to tell stories every single day about these athletes and coaches and teams and even the fans and just the school and the university in general. That's really fun when you've got a successful athletic department and the expectation is winning.
Sure.
And you can tell stories that go along with that. I mean, it's cream of the crop.
No doubt. See what the Nighthawks can do here in quarter number 2. The feed inside to Truschel in the basket.
Really good inside cut off that baseline out of bounds play for Truschel, and she converts on a layup that she had missed earlier and redeems herself to get an early bucket for North Georgia here in the second quarter.
25-12. Augusta. Clock stopped, 8:33. And it will be North Georgia ball. The foul, only the second on the Jaguars thus far. Truschel gets it into Ansley, and here we go. Emily at the foul line. Blackstock open from the left wing, just a little shy, but an offensive putback for Truschel.
I love that offensive set right there that Buffy Burson just ran. Truschel gets it back to the basket at the free throw line. You know she's not trying to score, but she's operating that offense. And they get a fadeaway three from Blackstock wide open on the wing. And then Truschel knows that rebound likely comes to the opposite side, and she's in a great spot. Again, every offensive rebound in this game for the Nighthawks is going to be big and key because not many teams can do that against this Augusta team.
Jaguars will have another crack at it this trip down the floor. In traffic. That one no good, but another bounce right back to them. Emily with the ball and the whistle stopping it. And that's going to be on Fahey, and Carly, her first.
And I'm kind of in agreement with Coach Burson. She can't believe that foul called there. I mean, her team had a defensive rebound and a stop going back the other way, a chance to cut it to single digits.
7:45 and counting here, quarter number 2, and the floater in the lane from Autumn Phillips.
That goes to show you how big that call and that foul is. Now it remains a 13-point game. That's a 5-point swing, 4 or 5-point swing arguably right there.
The feed intended for Eminer knocked away, but the Nighthawks will have it underneath their own goal. Oh my goodness. I would be shocked if this isn't reviewed and reversed.
Well, we just had a call a couple seconds ago where one of the referees initially made the wrong ruling on where it was supposed to go. And it looks like that's what happened again.
Yep. So there's power in numbers, and so the conference worked.
That's why there's 3 of them.
Exactly. Lob into Truschel. Now Blackstock on the left side lost the handle. You get the feel that there's a little more energy in the Nighthawks here in quarter number 2 than coming out of the gate.
Well, I think that first quarter was a wake-up call.
Yeah.
And when you're laying in the hotel room and that front desk calls you for the wake-up, you're a little groggy at first, but then you get out of bed and you have a cup of coffee, and now you're awake. I think we're at that stage for the Nighthawks right now. Now it's about finding a way to limit this Augusta team, which they have done so far in the second quarter.
In the lane, the bucket and the foul. That will go for Jabria Fullwood, an opportunity for a 3-point play. Even defended by 2 Nighthawks. Fullwood able to get it in. And the lead goes back to 15. You know, just a minute ago we were talking about the Nighthawks potentially getting it back into single digits. The Jaguars have answered. .704 left here until half. Hall left side. Skips it over to Fahey. Goes baseline and may have gone a bit too close to the baseline.
That's the tough thing about driving baseline is it's a trust practice with your teammates. You're trusting when you go that someone's going to bail you out in the corner if you can't find a way to the basket and score, and Fahey just didn't have enough room there.
And more often than not, nice defense there, but an offensive putback attempt. More often than not, you go baseline, you're going to have to find somebody in the corner. Sticker will come in for Fahey.
I think they got Eminer for that last foul down there. She's got her work cut out for her today. She's been working so hard down low, battling with these good post players for Augusta, a number of them.
Boy, a golden opportunity gone by the wayside there for Fullwood, who had found herself wide open on the inbound. Now we're on Sticker. Kaylee with 2. On the season, Fullwood came in 9 of 15 at the line. Looked pretty good that time, getting them both. That shot from Hall no good, but got her own rebound. Now Blackwood will zip it over. Emily, that one off the mark. The follow by Kendall wouldn't go, and I'll tell you, there's been a lid on the bucket so far.
Yeah, it's been a couple scoreless minutes for the Nighthawks. Like to see Eminer there take her time, value that offensive rebound, instead of rushing up a shot that was open, maybe kick it out for a reset in the half court and try to get another look. You don't have to, just because you get the offensive rebound close to the basket, doesn't mean that ball has to go right back up.
And the lead grows to 19. Can Emmeter do anything? Blocked by Manning, and here come the Jaguars. And they are hitting on all cylinders early. That's going to be a charge. One of the things you will quickly discover in watching the Nighthawks is their propensity to stand in there and take the charge.
Well, they've got that half circle there for a reason, and that rule for a reason, and you might as well use it. I mean, it's a player with a full head of steam. It takes a lot of guts to stand in there and take that hit, but that's a charge is one of those big momentum calls. It's like an and one, you know. It's the defensive version of an and one.
Yeah.
To completely stop the offense and go back the other way, and they think they got a foul call, but no, it's the wrong way. It's huge for a defense to be able to be good at that, and you can practice that, and the Nighthawks do.
Pierce, and that one barely moved the net. Another shot in the arm for the Nighthawks, 33-17. The lead had grown to 19. That was the largest of the day. Manning blocked in there by McLaughlin. Ava McLaughlin in the ball game. Paul on the wing. 5:05 left, second quarter, 33-17.
Big momentum possession here. Want to get a good shot.
Drive by Fahey, would not fall. Goodness, that was a great look. Comes up with a steal. Truschel, nice fake. Now zips it straight out to Fahey, over to Hall, left wing, wouldn't fall. Boy, another opportunity. What effort by the Nighthawks. Truschel puts it up, and how about that?
Just pounding nails.
They
just keep going.
Would not be denied. We may look back at that possession as being a pivotal.
Star it.
Yep. Would love to think so.
Yes. That's certainly the hope.
33-19 with 4:26. And a timeout on the floor. It is Augusta on top, 33-19 over North Georgia. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. This is the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back court side. 4:26 left here until the half. North Georgia with a hard-nosed effort that last trip down the floor. I lost count of how many opportunities they had, but time and again coming up with a loose ball, and Emily converting at the end. Nice to see it.
Try to exhaust your opponent any way you can, any opportunity you get. That's what they did on that possession.
And ball knocked away and taken by Truschel. Tried to get it to Fahey, but off the mark.
Man, you would love to force a turnover on a baseline out of bounds set right out of a timeout. That's supposed to be your crisp set if you're Augusta. Yeah. You're supposed to get an easy two-footer off of that. And the Nighthawks nearly take it away. So close there. Just an unfortunate bounce as it squirted out of Truschel's hands and past Fahey.
4:14 and counting, going baseline. Searles, nothing doing there, and it stays Augusta ball. One thing that we have seen all season long, the willingness. Well, that's an unusual inbound. Finally tracked down by Yolani Paul. Is the Nighthawks' willingness to hit the floor and going after the loose balls. Shot clock at 10. Inside, that one will be assessed to Truschel.
Wow. Not quite sure I agree with that one there. I thought Truschel played really good help defense there and stayed straight up. Third, of course, a tough shot, yeah.
That sends Yamani Paul, the senior transfer from Kennesaw State, to the line. First one good. And the Jaguars doing it from the foul line today. Around the perimeter to Pierce. Lexi now works to the right side. McLaughlin top of the key to Hall. Down the lane in traffic. Nice move.
Really good scoop layup by Hall there. Absorbed the contact, fought through the lane, got a high percentage look for her team.
Searles works the left side. Tried to go behind her back and lost the ball.
About everything that could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
On that possession for Searles. Turnover, and she picks up the
and
foul.
The foul. Yep.
Defense has been a lot better for the Nighthawks since that first quarter.
Coaches talk about trying to win the last couple of minutes going into the break. The first couple of minutes coming out. The feed inside to McLaughlin, and she draws the foul. That was a beautiful touch pass from Truschel.
Yeah, I would say media timeout to media timeout. And it's any sport that's got a halftime.
Right.
Football, soccer, basketball, doesn't matter. Winning that middle 8, middle 10, whatever it is very huge.
Let's see how the Nighthawks finish off this last 3:07 here in the second quarter. McLaughlin, a freshman from Cumming, South Forsyth High. Well familiar with that program. That's where my boys went. A nice job by Ava to hit a couple there.
And now we're back at that stage where it's stop and score is what you're looking at. 12-point game. I mean, they're right there. And they forced a couple stops. The biggest thing that they've done in the second quarter is they've limited the three-point shooting. Augusta hasn't made a three in the second quarter.
Clock rolls, 3:03 left until the half. Manning away to Meekins. Ooh, boy, that sure looked like a travel to me.
It was close.
Shot clock at 12. Now Manning gets rid of it to Searles. Puts it up with 6 left and hits the mid-range jumper.
We are noticing in this second quarter, though, as opposed to that first quarter on offense for Augusta, later shots, which means stronger defense for a longer period for North Georgia. That's a positive sign as this game goes on as well.
Nighthawks were trying to get it down low to McLaughlin, but Jaguars came up with it. Alford out front to Manning. And that's going to be on Livy. Clock stopped with 2:12 left here in the second. And quickly, Emily Truschel hustles over to check back in.
That was a great jab step by Polk there.
Yeah.
Jab towards the screen, drive baseline, got her defender out of position, forced to help defensive foul. Now she gets to the line, looking for her first points of the day.
9-8 out of Des Moines, Iowa. First one good, second one as well. 39-23, Augusta on top. Around the horn they go to Pierce on the left side. Now Lexi will take a couple of dribbles back to the right, sees some daylight, cut off. Now McLaughlin, top of the key, the lob over the top, intended for Truschel, too much to handle. Manning gets a break for Augusta. Checking in for North Georgia, Kaylee Sticker. Inside 2 minutes left here, second quarter. Alford, 17-footer will go. Back to an 18-point advantage. Cross court, dangerous pass, but foul away from the ball as McLaughlin and Malia Grace battling for position.
And remember, Craig, just a minute ago it was a 12-point game.
Yep.
And we're right here talking about Nighthawks having an opportunity to make a run and get right back in it. Then Augusta doing what good teams do, and that's when that opportunity arises and that momentum shifts a little bit, shutting it down right at its head.
So McLaughlin adding 2 more free throws. (41-25). That shot left shy. And it's going to be Augusta ball. Nope. Augusta foul will bring it back the other way. Carly Fahey, the transfer from UNC Asheville. That one just off the back iron, no good. So we'll have one more coming. And rattles it home.
Free throw line advantage early in this game belongs to Augusta. 9 for 10 in this first half already. Nighthawks not far behind at 7 for 9.
Inside a minute to go. Searles gets it in to Grace. Malia. That one just shy. Well defended by McLaughlin.
And a great tip out by McLaughlin on that rebound to get it to her teammate.
Open Sticker, straightaway 3, just to the left of center.
Really good look at it, though. That's a good transition 3 for UNG.
Yep. Difference of 5 seconds in the shot clock and the game clock winding down here toward halftime. Augusta controlling the first 20 minutes. We'll see what adjustments Coach Burson and company will make at the break. 5, 4 to shoot, 3, 2. Grace blocked by McLaughlin. And the shot clock violation will wind up giving 4.7 seconds with which to work for the Nighthawks.
That's really good awareness by, got to shout out the referees. I mean, the shot clock buzzer didn't go off, and it's easy to think block, tip, change of possession. Okay, we keep going, 5-second difference, but no, that's the correct call, and in a live spot to make. Impressive. It's a thankless job. They need their thanks every once in a while.
No doubt about it. Hats off. So the clock has been reset to that 5.3 seconds, as it should have been. See if we can get off a good shot here. Hall down the lane in traffic. Left hand off the glass. Would not fall. And we are at the break. And we will take a timeout. It's 41-26. Augusta on top. Back with a look at the first half numbers right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Northeast Georgia Health System is a proud supporter of North Georgia Nighthawk Athletics.
Here in Dahlonega, we treasure our history.
We treasure our waterfalls.
We treasure our wine.
But most of all, we treasure our guests.
We are a family.
We treasure our community.
And we're an experience for you to discover.
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 The heart of the Georgia mountains.
The heart of the Georgia mountains.
Discover the heart of the Georgia mountains.
The mountains are open.
My name is Lana Titterina, and UNG is where I lead. I chose UNG because of the tennis program and how much the tennis program has achieved in the past. And I wanted to be a part of building a good team. But also the campus is very beautiful, the location. It has the new business building that I really like, and when I did my research, I really liked Dahlonega in Georgia. So one of the biggest challenges that I faced was coming here and not knowing anyone. I didn't know how the culture was and how to really approach people. And being new and not knowing anyone can be tough in the beginning. So you have to really put yourself out there and make connections, talk to people. So that's where I feel like I've grown a lot, and I've gotten to know a lot of people here, and that has helped my experience. My advice for international students would be just go for it. It may be tough in the beginning, but it's all going to be worth it at the end. You're going to meet amazing people. It's really fun, and you get a very good degree.
I'm here!
You've got a lot of reasons to be here.
I'm here.
That's why we're here at Georgia Heart Institute, where advanced heart attack treatment protocols are saving more hearts than anywhere else in the state. That's why we're here.
I'm here.
So you'll always be there. The future of heart care, we're leading Georgia there. Georgia Heart Institute.
From the moment you know where you are headed, it starts a journey that you will never forget. For those who seek a higher calling, to serve something bigger than themselves and take the path less traveled, UNG awaits to prepare you for your leadership pathway. Once you're here, you will be challenged and developed, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Freshman Recruit Orientation Group, or Frog Week, is the first step of the UNG journey. The commitment, the attitude, the effort, and the resilience take shape as you move forward on a pathway that most will never attempt.
Y'all got 2 minutes to change into OCPs. Time now. Let's go. Move it. Move it.
It is a process that teaches you about yourself and makes you better than you were yesterday. At times, it can be a struggle, but it's also an investment in yourself. Like life, it can create moments of doubt. You learn about yourself and your strengths and weaknesses. You share this journey with the men and women to your left and right, establishing lifelong bonds with the understanding that nothing worth having ever comes easy. But through adversity, you build strength, determination, and the desire to never quit. Frog Week will establish a foundation to build upon, strengthen you physically and mentally, and start shaping you into the leader you came here to be. For cadets at the University of North Georgia, they take the road less traveled, avoid taking the easy way out, and develop instrumental values that will prepare them for a life of service and leadership. Some people talk about it, Others are about it.
You can't really get an idea of how another country runs their military till you go abroad.
It was cool to see their outlook on just life in general. To be there as a global ambassador is definitely a life-changing experience.
I participated in the Management College National Defense University Cadet Exchange. That is located in Taipei, Taiwan.
So I participated in study abroad internship in country of Georgia. The program I participated in was the Swiss Summer Mountaineering course. The experience was extremely professional. There were people from different militaries across the world. I was training with soldiers that were once our adversaries. It's fun to notice the importance of diplomatic relations and also civil affairs through the military.
The host school was always really going out of their way to help us get the full cultural experience because we were, in their eyes, only going to be there for 5 months.
They drove us out and we hiked to a glacier. That was unique, especially coming from Tennessee. There's no ice walls to climb. Their native language of Georgian was very difficult. However, at the end, I gave a little speech in Georgian, thanking their academy. It was an eye-opening experience. One thing I learned in Switzerland was to try and enjoy everything that you're doing, no matter how challenging it is.
Being able to see the country of your target language in person and really living day to day can move your passion to continue learning the language that much further.
All the conferences, all the internship, and all the exchange programs will help you as you develop, not just as a soldier, but also as a person. I think everybody in the Corps should study abroad because it will develop them so much.
If you have a free semester, it's the perfect time to explore a country. There's really not much holding you back in terms of whether or not you should go. It's a great experience.
I got extremely valuable training and just an overall incredible life experience that I wouldn't have gotten going to any other school. And it was the opportunity of a lifetime.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
All right, Joyride Beads. I hear if you run long enough, you get something called a runner's high, which sounds like something I really enjoy. Let's do this. Okay, so far so good. Mama Lake? What? Still no high, though. Hi. Hey. Oh, my God. There it was. My first runner's high. Well, better quit while I'm ahead.
And back we are here at the half, 41-26 in favor of Augusta. The Jaguars controlling the game from the get-go. An 11-1 run to start the ball game after a quarter. The Jaguars on top 25-10. Both teams scoring 16 points apiece in the second quarter. And it is 41-26 here at the break. A look at the numbers. First for the Nighthawks, no one in double digits as of yet. Ansley Hall and Emily Truschel both with 6 points each on the afternoon. Emily played 15 and a half minutes, 3 of 4 from the floor, 0 of 1 beyond the arc, 6 rebounds, along with her 6 points. She's saddled with 2 personal fouls. 6 points again for Ansley Hall, played 15 minutes, 43 seconds, 2 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 3 beyond the arc, 1 of 2 at the line. 4 points each for Ava McLaughlin and Lexi Pierce. Ava played the last 5 minutes and 43 seconds and was 4 of 4 at the foul line. Lexi Pierce played 15 minutes, 42 seconds, 1 of 2 from the floor, 1 of 2 at the line. Also with 2 fouls. Carly Fahey with 4 personal fouls in 13 minutes of play. Battle on the boards being won by the Jaguars, 19-17 in favor of Augusta. For the Jaguars, leading scorer Autumn Phillips and Tamaya Alford both with 8 points each. 6 points for Jabria Fullwood. 5 points for Monet Florence, 4 each for Manning and Searles. Collectively, the Nighthawks, 8 of 27 from the floor, 29.6%, 3 of 11 beyond the arc, 27%, and 7 of 10 at the line. For Augusta, shooting 50% on 15 of 30, 2 of 7 beyond the arc, and 9 of 10 at the foul line. As far as turnovers, Augusta has turned the ball over 18 times. North Georgia only 5 points in the paint. Augusta leading in that category, 16-10. Nighthawks have 6 second chance points to only 2 for Augusta. Jaguars have completed 3 fast breaks. North Georgia 1. And points off the bench, Augusta with a 12-9 advantage there. As far as the largest lead in the ball game, North Georgia did lead right off the bat with a single foul shot from Carly Fahey, 1-0 early in quarter number 1. Augusta led by as many as 19 at the 6:06 mark of the second quarter. The biggest scoring run, the Jaguars had an 11-0 run that we talked about right off the bat early in the ball game. North Georgia had a 5-point run in the first quarter as well. The Nighthawks led for a scant 17 seconds of the ball game. The balance led by the Jaguars. North Georgia looking to continue the additional effort made in the second quarter and see if that transfers into quarter number 3. Not only offense the challenge, but also the ability to stop the Jaguars, and Augusta with that comfortable 41-26 lead. And Brendan, we're looking at how the game evolved a couple of times in the first half. Nighthawks with multiple opportunities to cut it to a single-digit deficit, could never get past that hurdle. Do you think, though, that a more inspired second quarter will translate, hopefully, into a better third?
You would, and I think if you look at the trajectory, we'll call it the momentum tracker, the positive tracker for the Nighthawks, it went up as the game went on. It started pretty low, and they got down quick, and Augusta came out firing on all cylinders. They got off that quick 11-1 lead, and it looked bad in that first quarter, but it got better as the quarter went on. And then we got into the second, and it got a little bit better as the second quarter went on. And it's had its dips down, but it's still moving in the right direction. And I think when you look at this Augusta team, how hard they play, how fast they play, and the fact that they do it on both ends of the floor, that's very difficult to do for all 40 minutes and all 40 minutes that are on the road in a hostile territory. It's going to take like 3 or 4 plays for North Georgia that go their way to get some momentum before this crowd is really into it, the team's feeling it, and the momentum's all the way back on their side, and there's a chance for them to spark a run that way. So Augusta certainly still has their work cut out for them. They're in a good spot here, obviously, with how well they played in that first half. But again, they didn't make a single three in that second quarter. They're the best three-point shooting team in the Peach Belt. So that's a focal point for them, and they were limited in the second quarter. Nighthawks got to keep up that on the defensive side.
No doubt. And hats off to Ava McLaughlin. Good minutes down the stretch.
Yeah.
4 for 4 at the foul line. Nicely done to help things on the offensive effort for the Nighthawks.
She had a couple good defensive effort plays down low, a couple foul calls that maybe could have gone the other way. She had a block down there as well, I believe, in that second quarter. So good minutes for her, for this Nighthawks team, and a big, underrated aspect. So they're going to start with the ball here.
Indeed, and speaking of Ava, she will be on the floor as we start the third quarter, and we are underway. Glad you've joined us. Game number 1 of the doubleheader between North Georgia and Augusta. Hall on the right wing, zips it top of the key to McLaughlin, gives it right back to Ansley. An all-important first possession for the Nighthawks. Hall now away to Pierce. Inside to McLaughlin, the left hand would not fall.
It's a good first look for UNG, though. The half-court set worked well, and it got a shot right near the rim.
First opportunity for Augusta here in quarter number 3. Searles away to Manning. Goes baseline around Truschel. The follow will go. And the offensive board and the conversion for Tamaya Alford. 43-26. Pierce works to the left side. Stopped by Phillips. Shot clock at 10. Lexi back out to Carly. At the elbow, Truschel down the lane. Fall away jumper, good.
Nice bucket in response after Augusta's Emily Truschel down low, working hard today. 8 points for her to lead the Nighthawks right now.
And look at the defensive effort by Truschel.
They call it a foul, or?
Yeah, they are.
That's her third. That's a big one.
Yeah, early here in the third.
Buffy Burson, you can see her looking at her bench. She's got a decision to make now.
Yep.
She's going to leave Truschel in for the moment.
That is such a difficult position to be in.
Yeah, you want to fight hard for that loose ball. You've got a steal that feels big going back the other way for what almost certainly would have been a free layup. Maybe leads to a little more contact than what should have been.
Just inside the foul line. That one gets the friendly roll for Phillips.
I thought this was supposed to be the UNG Convocation Center. That was an Augusta bounce.
That was an Augusta roll, no doubt. Truschel on the left wing, away to Fahey, down low, McLaughlin. Good position, but it wouldn't fall.
Man, that's another one for her. 2 already in this second half that have been right near the rim that she can't convert on it. Just took bad bounces.
Wide open at the other end, Monet Florence. And it is 47-28, equaling the largest lead of the afternoon. And a travel on Truschel. Sends it back the other way. Set to check in, Jabria Fullwood. And she will give a breather to Kaylin Searles. Timeout taken by Coach Burson. 7:45 to go here. Quarter number 3. It's Augusta 47, North Georgia 28. Back in a moment. This is the Nighthawk Sports Network. Augusta with a 6-2 spurt to begin quarter number 3. The lead is back to 19. 7:45 left here in the third. Jaguars have the lead in the ball. And just looking for that spark, that moment that perhaps can turn the tide for the Nighthawks. Around the horn they go. Down to Manning, turns, shoots, scores, and draws what I'm afraid is another Nighthawk foul. And that is on Fahey.
Craig, that's not only another Nighthawk foul, that's the third or fourth that I can remember and one already in this game for Augusta, who is now 10 for 11 at the stripe. Not only taking advantage of the free throw line, but on old-fashioned three-point plays as well.
3 from the corner will go for Emily Truschel.
It's a good response. 3 back the other way.
Yep.
The modern way, we call that.
That's exactly right.
It's really interesting to see how much the three-point line has grown, though.
Hard to comprehend. That
really is.
In the game today, it is just essential to have solid ability and a tough screen at the top of the key. And that's going to be foul number 4.
I think the North Georgia coaching staff thought they had a foul on Augusta.
Yeah.
The shock and awe on their faces when that arrow went the other way is a foul on Truschel, and that's big because that's her 4th foul.
And Coach Burson with hands on her head, and she is in complete disbelief. And wow, 6:56 left in the third, and Emily to the bench, and probably for a good bit.
I would imagine till the start of the fourth quarter and beyond, honestly.
Yeah. Alford, good from 17.
And that certainly is not what you want if you're Buffy Burson for your leading scorer in this game, one of your go-to players on offense.
That one blocked inside, but McLaughlin saves it. Blackstock drives right side, and it's good. And she'll have an opportunity for a three-point play.
Really nice drive by Blackstock there. She's had a couple good drives to the basket today. She also hit a 3 earlier that was big for her team. Now a chance to get 3 the old way. This is obviously, with Truschel on the bench, going to be a crucial 6+ minutes.
Yep.
Buffy Burson's going to learn a lot about her team here. Some of the players that she has.
Requires players stepping up when the situation requires the drive, the shot. And another offensive rebound. It's going to go on Sticker. Third on Kaylee.
Not quite sure what else Sticker is supposed to do there. I really thought she did a great job staying vertical, but keeping her hands in a spot to get a block. And as I mentioned, I'm from Detroit, Craig, and there was a famous player who had a famous saying about a missed free throw, and our basketball fans will know what I'm talking about.
That's right. No doubt. Couple of misses there. See what the Nighthawks can get cranking. Hall underneath in traffic. Lost the handle. Here comes the Jaguars in full force. Missed shot. Ball out of bounds, and it will stay Augusta ball.
Boy, what a wild possession that was. Bodies everywhere.
Fullwood was just making a beeline to the rim.
Yeah.
Boy, and fouls just continue to pile up on North Georgia. That one on Hall. Eminer in to replace Sticker. And the Nighthawk faithful unhappy with the last call in particular.
I think it may be a boiling over of a couple calls in this game, too, that just haven't gone North Georgia's way.
Alford, an 81% shooter at the line on the season. That one good. That one not. Eminer the rebound, and outlet to Hall. Here we go. Oh, and just like that, ball turned over twice. And so the Nighthawks will have it back. 5:49 to go. Not a thing of beauty, that trip down the floor.
Will look funny in the box score. Turnover, turnover. In a matter of, 3 seconds?
Yeah. Hall to inbound. .5:45 left here in the third. And a whistle away from the ball. That will go against Grace. Malia battling Eminer for position in the lane. Second on the senior from Grayson, Georgia, transfer from Alabama State. Livy picks up the dribble now, has to have help.
Yep.
And dangerous pass to Fahey, gets it in to Eminer, double team. Boy, I'll tell you, the Jaguars have been all over the frontline players this afternoon.
Yeah,
anytime.
Truschel and Eminer and McLaughlin down low, all three of them have really had a difficult time getting a good shot. I thought Eminer got really great position there. That was good help defense from Augusta. But because Eminer forced that good position on the first entry when the help came over, she was able to draw the contact and get to the line.
Kendall goes to the line, averaging just less than 10 points a ball game. Kendall now playing on average 21 minutes a game, though her role expanding tremendously as the season has progressed. 1 of 2. And a mirror image on the scoreboard, but not the way you'd want it. 53-35. Grace, top of the key. And a foul along the baseline as Florence drove. And the Jaguars have spent quite a bit of time at the foul line here.
Yeah, these are going to be attempts number 16 and 17.
Yep.
Nighthawks with just 11.
Florence, a native of Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Davenport checking back in for North Georgia. Breather to Blackstock. Bounce pass to Eminer at the foul line. Now Davenport gets it over to Hall. Inside 5 minutes to go here, third quarter. It's a 20-point deficit. Davenport looks to ignite something here. This one just shy.
That's a good look for three, and man, it really looked good the whole way too.
Yep.
That's one that they desperately needed.
And a foul on the Jaguars. They send it back the other way, and an official timeout.
It was Ansley Hall, who you could see saying, "Thank you for getting that call." She took it. I think she took a shot to the face, and she was just glad that it was worth it.
Timeout on the floor. 4:37 to go in the third. It's Augusta by 20. Back in a moment. This is the Nighthawk Sports Network. Teams breaking their respective huddles. Coach Buffy Burson for the Nighthawks, Coach Celeste Stewart for the Jaguars, and Augusta today playing like a team that is at or near the top of the Peach Belt Conference.
And at the right time of year.
Yeah.
Only a few regular season games left. Playoffs are nearing every day on the calendar. And Coach Stewart's got to be happy with her team.
Beautiful feed to McLaughlin on the block, and Ava converting. 55-37. 4:14 left here in the third quarter. And Jaguars have been able to get the ball into the paint pretty much at will. But a turnover there sends it the other way. Fahey inbounds to Hall. Clock rolls.
And Craig, to support your point, 24-14 points in the paint in favor of Augusta in this game.
Cross court to Davenport. Isabel drives. Now Fahey, an open three. Good.
Really good look there. That's exactly what you want to do if you're Fahey. Your teammate drives towards the lane. You float to the opposite side, away from the help defense to the open floor, refilling that spot, and then she's open for three, and she converts on a big one. That's 2 in a row now for UNG.
Coach Stewart took a timeout.
Didn't like what she saw.
No, at all.
Defense, I think, yeah.
It's a 30. We'll keep it right here. 55-40. A little 5-0 spurt for the Nighthawks. There's a lot of basketball left, regardless of what the deficit has been. You come up with a couple of stops down the stretch here in the third, a couple of baskets, and then we're back in business.
They're at that point where any comeback in this game to tie, to take the lead, to be within one, whatever, is going to be remarkable and going to be the headline of this game. But it's not out of reach, for sure. And that 5 little spurt that they have right here and the forced timeout by Coach Stewart because of the good defense is evidence of that.
10 seconds on the shot clock, and a travel. And let's see if the Nighthawks can keep the momentum going. So an empty possession there for the Jaguars. And burned a timeout in the process. Oh, goodness, and just like that, a travel will send it back the other way. Ansley. The frustration I know she feels. Knowing where she wanted to pass it and then not being able to.
That's just the sinking feeling in your gut that you just have when that play gets made, because you get the third consecutive stop after the 2 buckets, chance to get another one, and
Instead, at the other end, an opportunity yet again for the Jaguars as Brianna Meekins, junior from Bridgeport, Connecticut, finds herself at the line. Brianna got the first, a 67% success rate on the season. And there, rattled it in. (57-40), 3:05 to go in the third. Ansley, a nice hesitation move, but the shot wouldn't fall.
That's a really good look. I like that drive there. Yep. She knows her team needs a bucket. I think she wants to redeem herself for that miscommunication, that travel on the other end of the floor, and she did everything she could. Just didn't quite get the bounce. That's a good shot, though.
The Jags will have it in front of their own bench. 2:50 left here in the third, up by 17, led by as many as 22. Searles. Shot clock at 9. Open 3, right wing is no good. McLaughlin fighting for the rebound and draws contact from Yamani Paul. Nice job, Ava.
Craig, that three is the first attempted three by Augusta in this quarter.
Interesting.
2:33 to go. Highest three-point percentage team in the Peach Belt, and they're 2 for 8 today.
They have certainly been content.
Yeah, I mean,
to pound it.
Yeah, they haven't needed it.
Yep.
You know, they've been in the paint, 24 points. They've gotten a ton off turnovers. Leading the points off turnovers category, 26-10. 17 North Georgia turnovers so far in this game.
Ouch. Yeah, that one lingered for a moment, but wouldn't go. Eminer, the rebound, and the follow wouldn't fall. Well, I'll tell you, time and again, Nighthawks have had shots that would typically have dropped that just have not today.
High percentage shots. Close looks.
That bucket makes it 59-41. Approaching 2 minutes left here in quarter number 3. McLaughlin over the top to Eminer. Beautiful feed. And Kendall draws contact. That is one of the most difficult passes to make.
Yeah, really easy to short arm it or throw it too far over it. I mean, that's a tough gauge to find that right little sleeve to slip the ball in there. And that was a really good pass from McLaughlin.
Kendall back to the line. Gets that one to go. And the freshman, that one no good, but McLaughlin comes up with a loose ball and thought she had a teammate on the perimeter. Instead, a turnover. Paul out front to Alford. Around the horn they go. Off-balance shot wouldn't fall, but a foul called with 1:41 left in the third. Autumn Phillips, a 77% free throw shooter. Their leading scorer on the season at 15 a game.
10 today, most of them coming in the early stages of the game. She was a big catalyst for that offense in that first quarter, it felt like.
First one good. One more coming. And the Jaguars have availed themselves well today at the charity stripe.
Yep.
McLaughlin zips it in the corner to Davenport. Now Hall. 12 to shoot. Ansley. Boy, she is really being defended closely. And just a pinch too close.
I was going to say, yep. I think that was a really good job by Hall to attack the top foot and force that hip change there and then go the other way to get the foul. That was a really nice job. She knew she was going to get that because that came off the switch on the screen as she got Alford to come onto her.
Ansley settles in at the line. And nicely done. Ansley transferring in from Tennessee Tech. And such a spark plug for this Nighthawk squad.
She plays hard. All 94 feet.
Yep.
And you see it right here, picking up her defender full court. And she doesn't really seem to slow down. Nothing seems to bother her, whether it's taking a shot to the face or missing a shot or a turnover.
That three will go.
Coaches frequently talk about, in recruiting players and in coaching players, body language.
Right.
And Ansley Hall's got some of the best that I've seen. Nothing phases her. She has the same focused and controlled body language every time.
And what a nice combination there from Eminer to McLaughlin. That's a combination you'll see for the next couple of years quite often.
Two players that have a lot of room to grow. A high ceiling in this building and with this team.
Paul down low, and McLaughlin thinking that she had utilized the principle of verticality, but contact called regardless. .32 left here in the third. Imani from just down the road in Norcross. That one off the iron, no good. Coach Stewart able to utilize a pretty long bench today. It's going to be a reach-in foul by Yamani. A little frustrated with the misses. And that sends Lexi to the line.
Yeah, both of these teams, quite the number of fouls today, near 20 for each, and that's probably going to end today 20-plus free throws, 25-plus free throws with a full quarter left to play for both of these teams. I think Augusta's got a shot to get to 30.
Yep.
Attempted, that is.
Look at Ava McLaughlin.
Wow. Just sneaking right behind the defense for the offensive rebound and put back on the other side.
Ava with 9 points now, 5 rebounds. Final 14 seconds, just a split-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here in the third quarter. Searles, top of the key with 3-2. Now the wing 3 from Phillips wouldn't go. McLaughlin comes down with a rebound. And Ava heading toward a double-double today. Through 3, it's Augusta 64, North Georgia 49. Back with the fourth quarter.
I'm here. You've got a lot of reasons to be here. That's why we're here at Georgia Heart Institute, where advanced heart attack treatments save more hearts than anywhere in Georgia.
My baby girl is home.
Georgia Heart Institute.
All right, Joyride beads. I hear if you run long enough, you get something called a runner's high, which sounds like something I really enjoy. Let's do this. Okay, so far so good. Mama like? What? Still no high, though. Hi. Hey. Oh, my God. There it was. My first runner's high. Well, better quit while I'm ahead. God, I'm good.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Ava McLaughlin inspiring this Nighthawk team with her play. 11 points, 7 rebounds. And the Nighthawks again trying to make a move back, cutting into that deficit with 10 minutes left.
And notice Emily Truschel with 4 fouls, still starting this fourth quarter on the bench. But like you said, McLaughlin has really picked up where she left off today. Really impressive performance.
Jaguars with a 3 here. This one woefully off the mark. Long rebound will be, well, they're going to say was last touched by the Nighthawks. Searles will inbound in the corner. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Glad you've joined us here in Dahlonega. Phillips thought about it for a split second. Searles the lob to Manning. Nighthawks have done a good job controlling Manning today for the most part. Long 3, though. Goodness gracious, from Monet Florence.
You could see the way Florence shot that, released it, and headed back down the floor before it was even in. She knew it was good the second it left her hand.
And as a shooter, there's no better feeling than that. Eminer gets her own rebound. Whoa, just wouldn't fall. And gets it again.
Wow.
How about that effort for Kendall? Top of the key 3 for Hall, no good. McLaughlin comes down, tips it to Hall. Nighthawks are battling. Pierce And they're going to call a jump, and that will keep it North Georgia ball.
Thank goodness it stays with North Georgia.
Wow.
The effort to just get the jump ball was crazy felt like all 5 players.
I'd love to dissect that little snippet of video. Hall inbounds it to Pierce, 15 on the shot clock. And a foul assessed to Manning. That's number 2.
That's only the first of this quarter.
Wow.
But almost the 40th of this game between these two teams.
That's a lot of trips.
Yeah.
Long 3. Hall no good. Had a chance, but just a little shy.
There's another one. Same thing, good release. Yeah. Heading back down the floor, thinking it's good, looked good the whole way. That's 2 or 3 she's had today that have looked really good right on line and just short.
Alford no good. Rebound to Davenport. Here come the Nighthawks. Isabel down the middle of the floor. Lobs it to Eminer. Beautiful feed, and Kendall pays it off.
Thing I like to see there, Eminer immediately points that finger back towards Davenport on the really nice pass. It looked like it was going to be a little bit short, but it was just enough to be perfect for Kendall Eminer to turn and make the easy layup.
Kendall has really come into her own this season with increased playing time. Baseline jumper, that was a tough one that went for Autumn Phillips. For the answer, 69-51. Backdoor cut for Pierce, now feeds Davenport. Gets it back in the corner, launches a 3, up and wouldn't fall. I nearly thought that Lexi was going to try a reverse layup there.
She had an opportunity to do so for sure.
That 3 no good.
It was a little bit awkward. It would have been a layup where she wouldn't have been able to bank it off the glass. She had to come towards the lane and go right straight on the rim. And I like the decision to make the extra pass, and they got a 3-pointer out of it as she was able to race back to the corner.
And Emily Truschel back on the floor. 7:25 to go in the ball game. Manning draws contact, and the parade of whistles.
Oh, wow. I thought they had it on Truschel on that foul. I mean, she gets back in and she immediately tries to make a steal and initiates some contact. You got 4 fouls. Got to be careful. Thankfully for Truschel and North Georgia, they give that one to McLaughlin, but that certainly could have been Truschel's 5th.
Yep. And a 3-pointer there again for Florence. A 33% shooter on the season. And Florence has made it 72-51. Davenport tries to answer. This one's short. And the Jaguars finally decide who wants the rebound. Inside 7 minutes we go. This game has been lengthened substantially by all those whistles. And all the trips to the foul line. The drive underneath, that one no good, but an offensive putback for Alford.
It's now 16 for Alford today. Phillips has 17. Florence has 15.
Feed over the top. McLaughlin gets it back to Hall, but it wouldn't go. A frustrating afternoon for the Nighthawks. Not any stretch of the game that you can look at with consistent performance at the offensive end.
Right. I mean, shooting 34% from the floor.
Yeah.
28% from deep. It's just, and I think to go along with your point about the lack of consistency on the offensive side is there haven't been any runs either. There haven't been, they've scored 7 of their last 8 or 9 of their last 12 or even 4 straight, you know. No rhythm has been developed on that offensive side.
Just inside the arc, that one no good. Rebound to Truschel. Outlet comes to Davenport. 5:55 left. The feed to McLaughlin. Ava in traffic, loses the handle, knocked away, and it will stay North Georgia ball. Some solid minutes this afternoon for Ava. Have to tip the hat to her play this afternoon.
Yeah, 11 points, 7 rebounds. She's worked hard. She's been in the right spot a lot of times, too, both sides of the floor, offense and defense.
Truschel finds herself free for the layup. Well done, Emily.
But that ability for a freshman to be in the right spot more often than not really bodes well for her future.
The most difficult transition for any athlete from high school to college in that first year of competition. And speaking of which, McLaughlin knocking that away from Malia Grace, not budging an inch. And a nice round of applause for Ava as she gets a breather. Campbell in. Knocked away, and that's going to go on Hall as she tried to strip the ball from Malia Grace.
And at this point, it matters less than it normally would, but that is 4 on Hall.
Yep. Jaguars will inbound along the baseline. Autumn Phillips gets it into Meekins. The ever-dangerous Florence. Back to Meekins. The drive, the shot, no good. Oh, and whistle will just keep on coming.
I think that's 5. Yep.
Tough afternoon for Emily. She fouls out at the 5:15 mark.
And just to show you how big those foul calls are, she sits down, leading North Georgia in this game in points and rebounds.
Yep.
And she sat for probably, I think it was 9 minutes between the third and fourth quarter.
Speaks volumes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't imagine someone who's got 13 and 8 in this game in 19 minutes what they would do in 30, you know? Plus the 5 we have remaining.
Second one for Grace is good. 1 of 2 for Malia. And it is 75-53. 5:14 to go. Hall, right side. The lob over the top, too much. Intended for Eminer. And with exactly 5 minutes left, we'll take a break. Augusta 75, North Georgia 53. Back right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Shop, play, and stay in Dahlonega, the heart of the North Georgia mountains.
Considering a career change? Ready to lead in healthcare? Be a nurse in 15 months with our accelerated Bachelor's of Nursing track. Learn more at ung.edu/ABSN.
With 5 minutes left and the Nighthawks down 22, what better time than now to check the scoreboard? What else is happening in the Nighthawk Nation?
There is a lot going on in the Nighthawk Nation today. 7 total events. Softball doubleheader. Baseball's on the road. We got 2 basketball games. Both men's and women's tennis are playing here at home against Auburn Montgomery. Right now, over on the softball field, over at the Hill, UNG won the first game against USC Beaufort, first conference opener, 4-1. They're also up 3-0 in the top of the third, and you might be living under a rock if you're listening to this broadcast and don't know already, but that's the #1 softball team in the country in the North Georgia Nighthawks. baseball dropped a 6-3 non-conference road game against Georgia College and State University yesterday, and they're also currently down 2-1 in the bottom of the fifth in game 2 of 3 today. But a very close game yesterday too. Had a chance. It was a 4-run sixth inning for the Bobcats that ended up winning that game yesterday.
Some great baseball always in the Peach Belt.
Yeah, that's being from Michigan. Nobody wants to play baseball at this time of year, but down here you can.
Exactly.
This is baseball country, and I'm excited.
You're loving it.
I'm stoked that we get to play baseball and softball at this time of year. It's nice. Golf too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Talking about that as we see Hall drive, find herself open, get the bucket and the opportunity. What a wonderful opportunity as you are joining the team here to have the luxury of covering such quality programs top to bottom across the breadth of the department.
Absolutely, and just the way it has happened to go for me personally, I've been on the other end of the spectrum, covering some teams that have really struggled, and that's a learning curve, and to switch to teams that are expecting to win and expecting to be in the NCAA tournament and expecting to be ranked. That's a good change of pace, and another thing to learn how to cover a team like that, because no matter what, there's still the stories to be told and the games to be broadcast and the athletes to be advertised, and that's certainly really fun. But yeah, it is good to look at, you go on UNGathletics.com and you look at any team that comes on that drop-down menu under sports, and there's a top 25 team here and a top 25. There's 2 number 1 teams
exactly.
Right now.
Golf, softball.
Yeah, exactly. And men's basketball got up to 6th in the country, I think, at one point. I mean, I think it's contagious within this department, too. It's the fact that, men's golf is winning. Well, we're women's golf. We want to go get in that top 25. Okay, women's tennis is ranked. All right, men's tennis now, we got to go get ranked. We got to go beat a ranked team. Baseball, softball's number 1 in the country. Baseball starts the year 8-1. I mean, it's contagious, and it spreads, and it just bubbles and bodes well for all the athletes. And I know the athletes here, they all share in the fact that they work together, they play together, and they also support each other. They'll find the basketball team at a baseball game and the baseball team at a softball game and vice versa, and that really is unmatched.
Davenport with the save. And, from your perspective in crafting the stories, how nice to be able to very consistently talk about programs that are ranked in the top 20, top 25 nationally.
And the thing that it does, too, is it makes the athletes and coaches want to talk about it more. Because you're not struggling with losing and you're not struggling with long seasons. And it's just more fun to talk about winning.
Here. A couple of follows that just wouldn't fall. That's sort of been the story of this afternoon for the Nighthawks. Opportunity after opportunity, and seemingly going through stretches where there just isn't a way to get a basket to drop.
Yeah, I'd like to see the advanced analytics and a shot chart of right inside that restricted circle, especially on offensive rebounds, it seems like today, or second chance opportunities for the Nighthawks.
And this game has taken a lot longer than most. We'll be pushing the better part of 2 hours for this one, with all the fouls and trips to the foul line.
And this is the point where it should start to speed up, you would think.
McLaughlin getting set to check back in. (80-55), Augusta. Inside 4 minutes we go. All works to the left. Now Davenport launches a wing 3 and drains it.
A deep one. Way downtown.
Isabel shooting at about 34% beyond the arc this season. The drive and the bucket, and the Jaguars have had numerous opportunities to get right to the rim without a whole lot of pressure. Nice bucket there from McLaughlin.
We were talking earlier about the growth of the three-point line. I thought it was really cool a couple weeks ago to see that the three-point competition with Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu. That was awesome stuff, and that was the most entertaining event of the whole NBA, WNBA All-Star weekend.
Far.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool.
It sure wasn't the defensive effort of the All-Star game proper. Goodness
Not
gracious.
at all. Or the celebrity game before that.
Oh, I could not bring myself to watch it.
I was in the middle of the move down here and was displaced in a hotel, and it was about the only thing that was on while I was doing work, and it's just But I thought the three-point competition was a good kind of representation and culmination of particularly how much the women's game has grown. I mean, you look at like a game, I think it was 2 nights ago, Indiana, Iowa, and the Hoosiers upset Caitlin Clark and the Hawkeyes on their home floor. And the line to get into Assembly Hall was miles long, stretching outside the building. I mean, who would have believed that 10 or 15 years ago, that the women's game would have grown as much as it has? And it's really so good to see.
You know, what a story Caitlin has become.
Oh, yeah.
Just an unbelievable competitor and such a tremendous player. Blackstock around to Macy Gregg. High arcing three, no good. And she not only has the women's scoring record, but closing in on Pistol Pete.
She'll probably get it.
Yeah, I think less than 60 points away now.
Yeah, and I don't even, not that she's going to need it, but Iowa's got some playoff basketball on the way as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, what she has done, and not just Caitlin Clark, but Iowa and the Big Ten. I mean, Indiana's been great.
Yes.
It's grown a ton down here in the South as well as a sport, with teams like South Carolina, Tennessee, obviously, battling and rivaling those schools like UConn. Mississippi State's been really good for a couple of years,
absolutely,
as well. You know, and to see that extension, I think we've seen that as it relates to North Georgia down to the Division II level. The level of competition and quality of play has grown so much, and the resources put into the game help with that and its growth and make it that much better. And it's a lot of fun to see, and that's the way it should be.
No doubt about it. Approaching the 2-minute mark now in this one, 86-60. Augusta will improve to 19-7, 13-3 in Peach Belt play. And a near takeaway. They're going to call a jump, and it will stay Augusta ball. One thing about the women's game, it's a fairly quick whistle if there is even remotely going to be a jump ball situation. Understand the mindset there, but from a game flow perspective, would love to see a little more patience on the whistle.
Yeah, it does slow it down a little bit. I think in this one in particular, we've just had so many whistles that it has really felt difficult for this game on either side. Augusta's going to win this game, and they've played well, but even Augusta hasn't necessarily had a ton of flow on offense. More than North Georgia has, like we talked about. Haven't really strung a couple of possessions, 4 or 5 consecutive possessions together with buckets or whatnot. But Augusta hasn't quite done the same thing either. It's just been a choppy game as far as the stop-and-start method of it.
The feed to McLaughlin and a foul given to Yamani Paul. Ava goes to the foul line looking for her 14th and 15th points of the afternoon. That one just a little long. So one more.
I'd miss it intentionally, try to get a couple rebounds.
There you go.
Double. We still got 3 in 90 seconds.
That's right. Nicely done, 1 of 2 there for Ava.
That's where you just tap it off the backboard to yourself a couple times. In all seriousness, though, she's had a really good game, and I've been impressed. And this being my first opportunity to see McLaughlin in person, would not have guessed she's a freshman.
Yeah,
would have guessed sophomore, junior, growing into a role, but not a freshman. And I think you said 14 minutes played before today.
Prior
all season.
to today,
never would have guessed that either.
Right.
I mean, I would have guessed a freshman, 8th or 9th player off the bench.
Right.
5 minutes a game.
Sure.
But to see this performance that she's had, that's really impressive, and I think it's a good sign for Buffy Burson and her team.
No doubt about it. At the line, Shamaria Jennings missing there. Loose ball, scramble, and Nighthawks come out of there with it. Cross court from Macy to Libby. Now Lexi. To Kendall inside to Ava. Wouldn't go. Oh, nearly had a rebound there.
One.
Oh, so close. 1:01 to go. Tough afternoon for the Nighthawks. And Augusta will maintain no worse than second place in the league, pending what happens with Georgia Southwestern. Oh, goodness. Let's be a little more cautious with the whistle, shall we, down the stretch, please, and thank you.
You know, I think one thing that does get forgotten at the Division II level is that, similar to players who would like to maybe move up and move on to Division I or professional, the referees are the same way.
No doubt.
And a lot of these referees are graded on these games and how they do, and they're trying to make that move up too. And, you know, well, I agree with you.
You understand.
With 47 seconds left in what's almost a 30-point game, I agree. But devil's advocate, you know, these referees are trying to move up as well.
First one no good. Second one goes for Yamani. 90-61 your score. Final 40 seconds.
I have a former buddy of mine, an announcer buddy, who both did announcing and did refereeing, so it's been ingrained in me all the difficulties that come along with that job.
Listen, thankless.
Oh, yeah.
Completely thankless.
Sometimes deservedly so, maybe.
You're right. We've got Ava Hunter out there now, as well as Ava gets it in traffic, and she'll head to the line. Nice feed from Lacey McCoy. Ava, sophomore from Blairsville and Union County High. That one a little long off the back iron. She'll have one more. And gets that one to go. Kira Collins checking in. And the Nighthawks will look to regroup after today. Have one more home game, and then finish that being with Aiken, then the road trip to Clayton State to wrap it up.
Yeah, we mentioned the men will celebrate senior night in a couple of minutes here. The women will have it Wednesday against USC Aiken.
Drive and the shot, and the bucket will go for Sierra Burns. 92-62, and that is going to be your final score. Tough afternoon for the Nighthawks. Battled against a very good team. And came up on the short end of this one. We've got the men in about half an hour. On behalf of Brendan, I'm Craig. On behalf of everybody for the Nighthawk Sports Network, we'll see you in just a moment.